What is there to teach? What do you know about life that the child doesn't know, I'm asking? Survival tricks, don't teach them too early. This is a serious problem. These days, I think it's a little less than what it used to be before. 3-year-old child, they're asking, what do you want to become? I want to become pilot. I want to become commando. These days all the boys want to be commando because that's the games they're playing. Because I see in these games, means somebody's head falls off. They may become jihadi Johns. Because right from childhood, they're taking off people's heads. So what do you want to expose your children to is something that every parent needs to think about, because it is exposure. It is not moral teaching which is going to stick. It is the exposure that the child is exposed to which is really going to stick right through their life. You must expose them to all the positive, wonderful things. Positive things does not mean right versus wrong, simply life the way it is. I think if people want to have children, this may sound extreme, but I would say at least for 2 months in a year, those who have children should withdraw into a natural space, not live in their city boroughs or those bird nests of apartments. They must go away at least for 2 months. It's all right even if you have to live in a tent somewhere, but they must live in nature, the children. Very, very, very important. If you want to have your children physically, mentally healthy and balanced, which is the most important thing, parents think all the things that they could not do, they must achieve through their children. So they should have bred racehorses. They are not an extension of your ambitions. They're not, and they need not be. So this is because people think they own their children. No, they're not your property. I think these days they're telling you, older generation hesitated to say this. This generation, by the time they're 10, they're telling you, you got no business to tell me what to do. So does it mean to say you don't say anything to them? No, it's your business to see, because if you don't guide them, somebody else will on the street, or somebody will do it long distance on the internet. All kinds of creatures are out there. All right. So yes, to protect them, to nourish them, to allow them to explore their possibilities, it is your business to do that as a parent. But parents' concern may be, what will happen, what will happen, what will happen? Tell me, when you go through fear, is it fantastic? Hello? It's one of the most terrible emotions you can go through. Why are we thinking that we should be fearful of our future, not only of your future, of anything that you do, and you're even God-fearing, all right? Fearful about everything. What is the point? There is no such thing. There is no such thing that this generation should be an extension of the previous generation. This generation should do something that previous generation could not imagine. That is when there is a purpose to this generation, isn't it? Otherwise, what's the point if you're going to do the same things? If you want your children to consider the suggestions that you're making, don't try to discipline them. If it works, if you try to discipline them and it works, unfortunately, it means that you have dumb children. If they're smart, it just won't work. Really, isn't it so? You don't like this? If they're just dumb, helpless children, it'll work. Otherwise, your damn disciplining won't work. Yes, here and there, maybe you put your foot down a little bit, but that right also you get only because you built a relationship. You built a very close, friendly relationship, so somewhere You can use your privilege of being older than them and put your foot down on a few things. But you can't go about disciplining them, you must drop that idea from your mind because it won't work. If they don't like your discipline, it's just a few months away that they don't like you. If a few years away they hate your discipline, then you must know that much time away they'll also hate you. There's no question about it, isn't it? So don't get yourself into that situation. The most important thing is to provide him an atmosphere which is joyful, loving and inspiring. Inspiring him to stand up and find his full potential. If this atmosphere is provided, you don't really have to worry about disciplining. Discipline will happen by itself. Discipline does not mean control. Discipline means that you're focused towards knowing. The word discipline in English means a learning or to learn. So when you say I'm disciplined, that means you're always willing to learn. That you're not stuck in some mode. So discipline is not just doing something somewhere, you're willing to learn which way to do everything better. So if you're constantly striving how to do everything better, you're disciplined. You're just doing something in a particular way, that's not discipline. If you bring yogic practices into a child's